Okay, I've just cleaned up my design to make it a little bit cleaner and make it look a little bit more like the example that I've given you up here. So what this all becomes, this would be our cutout for our development, and this is just giving us the outline, right? Now, with the laser cutter, what we actually want to do is we want to tell it to do different things for different lines, okay? So for our cut lines, it's important that we select all of our lines and we actually change the stroke weight to 0.01. Okay, it's called a hairline. Now, that's what it looks like on the screen. That tells the laser cutter that it needs to cut. We can control the laser cutter to do different things. So for example, if we did another 0.01 cut line in a red color or a blue color, green color, etc., we could tell it to cut it in a different way. Okay, we're not going to worry too much about different colors. I just need you to know that it's important that 0.01 is what we need as a cut line. If we then go and put another line in that it is at a different weight, like 1 point, for example, like this, that line will not cut. Okay, that will etch or sort of engrave on the paper, okay, which we don't want. All right. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to change this back to 1 point so that we can see it on the screen a little bit more, but just pretend that that is that hairline cut line. So I've got my outline here now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to click on stroke here, and I'm going to click on dashed lines. Okay, now we can adjust this information, all right, but what I'm actually going to do, I need to zoom in. I'm using the Option key on my keyboard and my roller to zoom in, and I am going to go anchor point to anchor point. You can see that I haven't necessarily got all of my corners in exactly the perfect spot. But if I then continued them all the way down there, for example, you can see that I am putting in some fold lines for my box. Now, I'll need to work out exactly where this fold line goes. What I might just do, a nice easy way of doing this, is to unselect everything, is something like this. I'll click on that line. I'll say that I want it to be 50 millimeters, and I want it to be at 0 degrees. Okay, that should allow me to pick up the end point of that line, which is actually there. We can't see it very well at the moment because it's done that. Just undash that. Try that again. Okay, all right, so that then allows me to pick that up. That's a nice simple way of using the line tool to help get the lines in the right spot. Okay, and you can imagine if we then were to laser cut this whole project, that everywhere where we've got these dotted lines will actually cut it in that way. So it will give us dotted lines that are, or dashed lines that are cut. Okay, so that's a nice way of doing a fold line where it's going to keep all of the cardboard intact. Okay, and you can play around with all of these and say, well, you want the gap to be bigger and you want the dash to be smaller. Okay, say something like that. All right, and that's a really nice way of putting in your fold lines. You don't absolutely have to do that, but it's a really nice clean way of going about doing that. Okay, so that's how you are going to use Illustrator to make your development layout for the laser cutter. Okay, and the very last thing you're going to do, I would recommend grouping it all. Command G, and you're going to change it to the cut lines. Okay, now that will actually be ready for us to add in some blocks of color and some images so that we can print that and then laser cut it. I'll show you how to do that in a different video.